I can't sing at all. So seriously, I'm going to try to sing this song, and at times you'll cringe. I'll do the best I can with this table help. And I want to apologize for being younger than you. During the song, I may make fun of you and your lovely wife, and I certainly apologize for that as well.
No, you do not.
I don't, it's true. So Don and Sabine have often entertained us with If I Were a Rich Man, and I've changed the word slightly today. And, you know, I didn't realize until I looked at this, I remember it begins with the, Dear God, you made many, many poor people. I realize, of course, that it's no shame to be poor. Not quite yet. Oh. No shame to be useless, but it's no great honor either. So, would it have been so terrible if I was as useful as Don Hirsohn? Oh, if I were Don Hirsohn. Dibby, 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 dum. All day long I work upon my Mac. I would have to work very hard because my wife would spend every little penny that I make. If I were a bitty bitty Don, eedle deedle diddle her son, I'd buy a big old house in the heart of Napa, right in the middle of town. A house that would flood at the slightest drop of rain. There would be one giant room where the maid should live, but I'd make my son live there instead. Because that's the kind of guy that I am. I'd fill my yard with chickens. Well, actually, my wife would do that because she does all the real work anyway. I'd fill my yard with chickens. Well, actually, my wife would do that because she does all the real work anyways. For all the town to see and hear the chickens in his couch. With each loud cheep and squawk would land like a trumpet to the ear, as if to say, there lives Don Hirsohn. Should he have chickens in his yard? Oh, everybody, if I were Don Hirsohn, gummy dibby 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 dum. All day long I'd work on my Mac. If I were Don Hirsohn all day, I would have to work very hard because my wife would spend every little penny that I made. If I were a bitty bitty Don, eedle deedle diddle her son. I see my wife, my Sabine, looking like Don Hirsohn's wife, with lots of proper gray hair and eyes permanently rolled back in her head from having to live with Don Hirsohn every day. Boy, what a happy mood she's in, dealing with my unique person. The Mac customers, I don't know, what does this part sound like?
That's where you speak it.
I speak it. The Mac customers in town would come to hear me every day. They would ask me to advise them. You couldn't write this. I wrote this. I'm younger and smarter than you. Don't you challenge me. They would come to and ask me to advise them like a Steve Jobs the Wise. If you please, Don Hirsohn. My computer died, Don Hirsohn. Posing problems like you have to plug it in to make it work. And questions like, should I get a Mac or a real computer? And it wouldn't make a one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're Don Hirsohn, they think you really know. One more time, if I were Don Hirsohn, gummy dibby 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 dum. All day long I'd work on my Mac. If I were Don Hirsohn all day, that's what I wrote. I would have to work very hard because my wife would spend every little penny that I make. You make the point, right? If I were a bitty bitty Don, eedle deedle diddle her son. Oh, Lord, who made the lion and the lamb? You sent me to Harvard, which I totally wasted. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if